This experience is why I believe in ghosts. Hey guys, I'm a first-time poster raising hands. Everyone I tell this story to says it's the creepiest thing they have heard, so I thought I would share. I was the biggest non-believer in ghosts. Now I believe. Enjoy. When I was 14, me and my friends stayed round our other friend's house. Josh had recently moved into this house and there's already a few creepy notes around the house. The context: it is in the middle of nowhere. There are 3 houses close to each other, then nothing but fields, forests, and farms for miles. The 3 houses are Josh's, a house that belongs to 2 white witches and a bedsit where a man used to live. However, 3 years ago he hung himself in the bedsit and the police only found him when Josh's dog kept barking outside the bedsit, and there was a weird smell coming from it. Every single person who lives in this house have had a paranormal experience of some kind. The brother claims one night a week, his shower will turn on and he will hear someone whistling a tune, the same tune every time. Then the shower will turn off. The whistling continues for about a minute, then nothing. The mom says she sees a woman in the corner of her room some nights. She has to turn the light on and the stepdad will sit with her until the woman has gone. The nan, when staying in the spare room, says she always sees the same shadow woman by the window in that room. So it's not uncommon to hear a scary story at this house. As a non-believer, I found excuses for each one, such as old pipes or just mistaking shadows. The mom's one did scare me a bit though, as I had no explanation, maybe dreaming. Josh's room is said to be safe. No one's had an experience in that room and nothing weird ever happens there. So I never used to mind staying in the house if I stayed in his room. I may have been a non-believer, but I sure wasn't willing to take my chances. The house had an old cellar which has 4 tunnels stretching off either side, and they can't find the plans to where these tunnels go. The cellar is always freezing cold to the point where you can see your breath, and whenever it gets open, the dogs go crazy with barking. Context TLDR, the house is creepy as fuck with everyone having paranormal experiences, but I was a non-believer and so would stay over as long as I was in Josh's room with him. The story: me and Tom stayed over for the night and both chose to stay in Josh's room as there was plenty of space. Everything was a normal night, bit of gaming, late night chat about girls, nothing out of the ordinary. We fell asleep fairly early with Josh and Tom in a bunk bed and me on the floor. At around 3 a.m. I woke up to the sound of footsteps climbing the stairs. It unnerved me instantly because of the nature of the footsteps. They were very sharp and loud, and the steps would be climbed all the way to the top and then it would start from the bottom again. In my head I had visions of their cat climbing up the stairs, then sliding down the banister to the bottom and starting again. Their cat had a bed at the top of the stairs and always without fail slept in that bed. The family tried to make the cat stay with them, but he would always ask to leave and go to his bed. It also could not be the dogs, as they were not allowed upstairs and were normally on the opposite side of the house in their beds. So the cat was the only plausible answer for me. However, it was so loud that I did doubt myself a lot and was nervous. Could a cat really make that much noise? After about 10 minutes of the footsteps, I remember calling out quietly to Tom and Josh to see if I should go check on the cat, but neither replied to me. So I decided, fuck it, let's check. I got up from the bed and walked to the bedroom door, and just before I put my hand on the doorknob, the room went ice cold. I had something, and I don't know what it is, but something stopped me from opening the door. Maybe a gut instinct, maybe someone telling me it was a bad idea. All I know is I felt something I had never felt in my life before, something horrible. And with that I realized something. The footsteps had stopped. I could visibly see my breath in front of me and was frozen in spot. I felt like something was behind the door, but I didn't know what. I couldn't turn on the light as it was by Tom on the other side of the room, and I was frozen so couldn't get there. I just waited. I will remember the feeling until the day I die. A feeling of dread. I slowly retreated back to my bed. Once I found my feet, I hid myself in my sleeping bag, keeping my eyes firmly on the door. The temperature of the room returned to normal. I was warm again, and most importantly, the footsteps continued again. I stared at the door all night. Eventually I passed out. I woke up in the morning and the door was open. I could smell bacon being cooked downstairs and everything seemed normal. I hid up the landing but realized there was no dread in me. Nothing. Everything was back to normal. I went downstairs and saw Tom sitting at the table and Josh making breakfast. "How did you sleep?" Josh asked. I decided to be brutally honest, just in case it's happened before to Josh. I said I heard footsteps all night. Loud. Did anyone else hear them? Josh looked shocked slightly and gestured over to Tom while mentioning that Tom had brought it up earlier this morning. I remember looking properly at Tom, who looked scared. He didn't answer, so I explained more. I did call out to you guys to ask, but no one answered, so I assumed only I heard it. I remember clear as anything Tom, eyes fixed on the table, interrupting with, "And you got up to check it." "Yeah, I know." I explained I was going to, but everything felt horrible, didn't it? Cold, like someone had thrown ice cold water over us. I thought you were going to open the door, but something inside me felt like if you did, something terrible was going to happen. I was shocked. He felt it too. It wasn't me being crazy. I asked him why he didn't say anything. He said he was frozen to the core. What he said next scared me the most. What would we have seen if you had opened that door? Sometimes your imagination can get the better of you there. Who knows what I would have saw? Maybe Cat hearing me get up and coming to check up on. Hi boys, Josh's mom had came in. Josh, you'll never believe what happened last night. We actually had Harry come in to sleep with us. I felt sick. The cat wasn't in the bed for the first time since they lived there. So it wasn't the cat. It was definitely something else. What was climbing the stairs? Whoever it was, they heard me coming in if I had opened the door. What would they have done to me? Who protected me? I will never know. Follow on notes. Tom never stayed there again. It took me 6 years, but I stayed there when I was 20 for his 21st birthday party. Nothing unusual happened. Full TLDR, 14-year-old me hears ghost climbing stairs, gets feeling of dread when going to check on it, and it stops. Please populate this thread with stories. Also let me know how I did. It's my first time telling a story in writing. Normally I say this story out loud to people.